Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss an update on important health topics. So, picture this. I'm at the grocery store the other day, just minding my own business, browsing the yogurt aisle. You know how it is, just trying to decide between Greek yogurt and the regular kind. When suddenly, something catches my attention. Suddenly, I overhear this woman whispering to a friend. It's one of those whispers that's meant to be private, but is just loud enough for anyone nearby to catch. "I think I have thrush again," she says, her voice filled with dread. You could hear the anxiety in her tone, like this was something she had been dealing with for a while. "But I don't want to go to the doctor. It's so embarrassing," she continued, clearly uncomfortable with the whole situation. Now, I know we're not supposed to eavesdrop, but come on, who can resist a good medical mystery, right? Especially when it's unfolding right in front of the yogurt section. And trust me, I've heard it all when it comes to vaginas. Working in healthcare, you get used to these conversations. But the truth is, there's no shame in the vaginal infection game. It's more common than people think, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about. We've all been there, or at least know someone who has. It's a shared experience that many women go through, and it's important to talk about it openly. The important thing is to know the signs and take action. Early detection and treatment can make a world of difference. That's why I'm here to give you the lowdown on vaginal infections, no holds barred. We're going to cover everything you need to know, from symptoms to treatments. Because knowledge is power, ladies, and when it comes to our bodies, we deserve to be informed. So let's dive in and get educated together. Let's face it, ladies, our lady bits can be a bit of a mystery sometimes. We often find ourselves puzzled by the changes and sensations that occur down there. One minute everything's hunky-dory, and the next it's like a scene from a horror movie down there. Unexpected symptoms can catch us off guard and leave us feeling alarmed and confused. Itchy, burny, smelly, you name it. We've felt it. These uncomfortable sensations can disrupt our daily lives and make us feel self-conscious. But here's the thing. Ignoring the problem won't make it go away. In fact, it can often make things worse. We need to address these issues head-on to find relief. In fact, it can often make things worse. Delaying treatment can lead to more severe symptoms and complications that are harder to manage. That's why it's so important to know the signs of a vaginal infection. Recognizing the early symptoms can help us seek treatment promptly and avoid unnecessary discomfort. Vaginal infections are incredibly common. They affect women of all ages and backgrounds, and there's no need to feel embarrassed or alone. Most women will experience at least one in their lifetime, and some of us will be regular visitors to the land of itch and discomfort. But with the right knowledge and treatment, we can manage these infections effectively. But that doesn't make it any less important to address. Taking action early can prevent the infection from worsening and help us get back to our normal routines. Early detection and treatment are key to preventing complications and getting back to feeling our best. Consulting a healthcare professional can provide us with the right guidance and medication. So let's ditch the embarrassment and get down to business. Let's talk openly about our experiences and support each other in seeking the care we need. Let's empower ourselves with the knowledge to spot those pesky infections before they take over our lives. By staying informed and proactive, we can maintain our health and well-being with confidence. Right, ladies, let's talk symptoms. It's time to get real about what's happening down there. What are the telltale signs that something's not quite right in the vaginal neighborhood. You know, those little hints your body gives you when it's trying to say, hey, pay attention. Well, first up, we have the classics itching and burning. These aren't just minor annoyances. They can be your body's way of waving a red flag. And trust me, I'm not talking about a little tickle. This is the kind of itch that makes you want to scratch your hoo-ha with a cheese grater. Not a good look, and definitely not comfortable. This is the kind of itch that makes you want to scratch your hoo-ha with a cheese grater. Not a good look. Next, we have discharge. Discharge can tell you a lot about what's going on inside. Now, a little bit of discharge is perfectly normal. Our bodies are designed to keep things clean and balanced. Our vaginas are self-cleaning machines after all. But, like any good machine, sometimes things can go a bit haywire. But if the color, consistency, or smell of your discharge changes, it could be a sign of an infection. It's like your body's way of sending up a flare. Think cottage cheese, fishy odors, or a greenish tinge. Not exactly appealing, right? These changes can be indicators of different types of infections, like yeast infections or bacterial vaginosis. Other symptoms to watch out for include pain during sex, which can really put a damper on your intimate moments. Pain or burning when you pee, which is never a pleasant experience and can make you dread bathroom trips. And even some light spotting or bleeding. This can be alarming, especially if it's unexpected. Basically, if it feels off, it probably is. Your body has ways of telling you when something's not right, and that's your cue to get things checked out. Don't ignore these signs. They're your body's way of asking for help. So, listen up and take action. Now, I've shared my fair share of vagina tales, but I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a vaginal infection? What were your symptoms? Did you find it difficult to talk to your doctor? Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's break the stigma and create a safe space to discuss all things vaginal health. So, we've talked about the symptoms, but what about prevention? Can we do anything to keep those pesky infections at bay? You bet. Firstly, let's talk about hygiene. Now, I'm not talking about douching. Please put down the douche. Our vaginas are perfectly capable of cleaning themselves. In fact, douching can actually disrupt the natural balance of bacteria in the vagina, making us more susceptible to infections. Instead, stick to gentle, unscented soaps and warm water when washing your lady bits. And whatever you do, avoid those perfumed feminine washes and sprays. They're basically like a disco party for bad bacteria. Not cool. If you want more tips and advice, download our free health app today. Another important tip: change your wet clothes immediately after swimming or working out. Yeast and bacteria just love a warm, moist environment, so don't give them a chance to set up camp in your undies. Let's talk about sex, baby. Unprotected sex can increase your risk of sexually transmitted infections, some of which can cause vaginal infections. So, always use condoms and get tested regularly. It's better to be safe than sorry, right? Another thing to keep in mind is your underwear. Cotton is your friend, ladies. It's breathable and allows air to circulate, which helps to keep things dry and comfortable. Synthetic fabrics, on the other hand, can trap moisture and create a breeding ground for bacteria. So, ditch the lacy thongs and embrace the comfy cotton briefs. And lastly, let's talk about diet. Sugar is the enemy, ladies, especially when it comes to yeast infections. Sugar feeds the yeast, allowing it to multiply and wreak havoc on your vaginal flora. So, try to limit your intake of sugary drinks, processed foods, and refined carbohydrates. Your vagina will thank you for it. Our bodies are pretty amazing, wouldn't you say? They have this incredible way of telling us when something's not quite right, and our vaginas are no exception. So pay attention to any changes you notice down there. Itching, burning, discharge that smells like a fish market, don't ignore it all. These are your body's way of saying, hey, something's up. Let's get this checked out. Think of it this way, would you ignore a persistent cough or a throbbing headache? Probably not. So why do we often brush off vaginal discomfort? It's time to start listening to our bodies and giving them the care they deserve. So, you've been experiencing some unusual symptoms down south, and you're starting to think something might be off. What's the next step? Well, my friend, it's time to put on your big girl panties and make an appointment with your doctor or gynecologist. I know, talking about our vaginas can be a little awkward, even with a medical professional. But trust me, they've seen and heard it all. They're not there to judge you. They're there to help you feel better. During the appointment, your doctor will likely ask you about your symptoms, your medical history, and your sexual activity. They may also perform a pelvic exam to get a closer look at your vagina and cervix. Don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. Just relax, breathe, and remember that you're in good hands. Ladies, there's absolutely no shame in seeking help for a vaginal infection. It's not a sign of weakness or poor hygiene. It's simply a common health issue that affects millions of women worldwide. So, please, don't suffer in silence. The sooner you get diagnosed and treated, the sooner you can get back to feeling like your fabulous self. And remember, you're not alone in this. There are countless resources available to support you, from online forums and support groups to trusted healthcare professionals. So, reach out, ask questions, and don't be afraid to advocate for your own health. Knowledge is power, ladies. And when it comes to our vaginal health, knowing the signs of an infection is crucial. By understanding the symptoms, practicing good hygiene, and seeking medical advice when needed, we can take charge of our bodies and live our lives to the fullest. So, let's break the stigma surrounding vaginal health. Let's talk openly and honestly about our bodies. And let's empower ourselves and each other to prioritize our well-being. Because when our vaginas are happy and healthy, we can conquer the world. What are your thoughts on this? Share your comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more empowering content.